What's happening, ladies and gentlemen?
How's it going? Welcome to a not so live podcast.
This is week 8?
Yeah.
Week 8.
Yeah,
wow.
week 8.
That's crazy. So we are
2
a
months.
month and a half into this thing.
2 months.
2 months into this thing.
Good math.
The math is strong
So
with me.
I'm the brains behind the operation. He's
Yeah.
just here for aesthetics.
Which is not saying much for our operation here.
No, not considering how much beer that we drink.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so big part of why we're not going to be doing a live cast this week is because this fool is going out to the woods.
Yep, well, sort of. Sort of. There's trees.
There's trees,
Yeah.
not really the
So,
woods.
due
What do
to-
you define as the woods? Like, what in your mind constitutes the woods?
Away from civilization.
Mm-hmm.
Lots and lots of trees, wildlife, and yeah, that's it.
And that's it.
If it takes me more than, let's say, 20 minutes to walk in any given direction, and I can run into normal neighborhoods and stuff, then it's not the woods.
Oh, okay, yeah. I'd say that's not a bad metric.
Like there's a woodsy area where the quarry is. That's a woodsy area, but at no given point in time
Okay.
are you 20 minutes away from
So,
the city.
because you could hear exhaust noise on a car, you could hear a train, you could have a St. Mary's helicopter fly over you or something like that.
You're not in the woods.
That's not in the woods. So if we headed up to, say, Northwest Territories in Canada, that's the woods
That's
to
the
you.
woods,
Like,
yeah.
that's the woods.
Yeah, like you're in a wooded.
That's the thick
There's
of it.
wooded areas, but you're not in the woods.
Okay, great. So you're going to be amongst a couple trees.
Yep, we'll be in Moose Lake.
Yeah.
So originally, wife and I were supposed to go to Seattle later this month, and we were thinking about taking the kids to Wisconsin Dells, which is an awesome outdoor water park town.
Yeah.
It's not just a
pretty
water
wild.
park; it's like multiple water parks. But with everything going on, we decided not to do any of that stuff because of just kids and sickness and all that fun jazz.
Yeah.
So we thought, what's the best way to have a family trip, and what better way than to get away from everybody?
Yeah.
And go
No
stay in a
kidding.
cabin.
Go hang out with a couple trees. Are you going to be on water?
Yes, we're about 40, 50 feet from the lake.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay.
So the only downside is this is through not Airbnb, but another app or program like Airbnb. And the old couple that own it live next door.
Oh, okay.
They're like, yeah, we let you have your privacy, but if you needed anything, we're literally the next house over.
That's cool.
So-
like, we might look in the windows at some point.
I sleep naked, so I'm not too worried about it.
Yeah, I mean,
Granny
that-
wants to stare at some 30-year-old bare ass, go for it.
That might be the treat.
Or she might be like, hey,
Or he.
they might take one look at me and be like, oh, is that your dog? Like, yeah, that's Hades. And then she might be like, oh, okay, well, that's how you get out of town.
Okay.
So who knows?
We
But
don't know where all this is going to go.
I think it'll be fine.
Yeah. Either way, this scumbag's not going to be around on Thursday, so we're doing a pre-recorded podcast for you. So
Sorry you don't get to talk to us,
Yeah.
but that might be for the best.
yeah, it might be a benefit to us, might be a
be.
benefit to you. I don't know. It all matters on how you size it up.
Hey, look at it. So.
Yeah. So we also have a couple of random beer types because we don't have the usual surprise. This is the beer
Yeah.
kind of deal today.
I was trying to find a mini keg for us, and I did not buy a mini keg.
I
bought a big can of beer.
Okay, so this dude had a shit day.
Oh, God.
And this, just like so you guys understand how off he was, at least up until about 5 minutes ago. So we have this idea where it's going to be like, we're going to have sort of segment ideas. It's going to be like a question, and it's going to be stored in a thing. And then we pluck one of those suggestions out randomly to just kind of add to the podcast.
Yeah, just a way to kind of keep moving on if we hit a dead spot or something.
Exactly.
Like that.
Or if we're just like, we want to keep punching up, whatever. We just want to add that in. And that's actually going to be an opportunity for you guys to interact with us further if you want to actually throw a question to get tossed into the hat, so to speak. But what the idea was, and the reason why it's a good metric for how off homeboy here is like we wanted to do a mini keg. This is Brews of the Dudes, so I mean, why not have like the hat that all these things go into be a mini keg that you pluck from? And so you couldn't find a mini keg, so you grabbed this.
I grabbed this, like, oh, this is next best thing.
Yeah.
And I get here, and I'm kind of out of it and whatnot, and Jake's like, hey, that's not gonna work. That's
Yeah,
enough beer for a person.
Yeah, exactly.
So, challenge accepted.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, one of these episodes will actually have a mini keg that we'll start plucking those out of. And we'll touch a little bit more on that segment a little bit later. But
What do you have?
we took a run and picked up some extra beer since he only brought enough for a German Shepherd. What I picked up was Lift Bridge Juicy's. Juicy. Juicy's.
It's like,
Juicy.
I wonder if that's what Jay-Z stands for.
Juicy's.
Is that what, is Jay-Z the abbreviation of that?
It could be.
Is it supposed to be juice? And
Well,
that's hard to say.
Jay-Z could be an abbreviation for it if you took off the A and the Y in J.
Oh, I forgot it is A-Y,
Yeah.
isn't it? I'm not up to date on my hip-hop with you young
Jay-Z?
kids.
No shit. All right, so this is a juicy IPA.
This is a Hoops Summer Story, and it's 7.3%. And I'm going to try to drink all this tonight.
That is really good.
Is it good?
That is real. I love juicy IPAs. So a local brewery named Bent Paddle here in town had a juicy IPA that was called Portage, and it was crazy. It was like you were biting into like a watermelon almost. It had so much of a juicy taste to it, but it was like strictly IPA. I don't know how it had this like, how do I word this? It's like there was almost like the bite into it. Like it had a texture in your mouth. And I know that leaves me wide open to a lot of jokes.
This is a kid-friendly show, so I won't go there.
Yeah.
Even though I was thinking of all sorts of stuff.
So Portage is the bomb. They don't make it anymore. It's seasonal. I hope it's coming back because that was like. I don't know,
why are all the good beers seasonal?
I don't know.
Like
they want to keep us coming back.
My two favorite beers are Lollygagger, which is seasonal, which we had last week. If you didn't get a chance to see that.
Yep.
And then a beer called Sugar Shack, which is a winter beer, and it tastes like maple. It's so freaking good. It's like maple bacon flavor almost.
It's like you bite into a tree.
Yeah, it's super good.
Super
but they make it for like 2 months out of the year. So my wife, for around Christmas time, opens up the fridge for leftovers, and there's just 6-pack after 6-pack because I know I'm going to run out.
Yeah, it's smart. That's a good approach. Yeah, I know. I'm kind of in the same boat too because like once we get closer to when these seasonal beers start running out, I start stocking up and like hoarding it.
And then you just drink it quicker, so you're out.
Exactly.
You're
I know. I'm
drunk on
literally
your
drinking
favorite
more
beer.
often.
Because like, oh, I have it.
Yeah, it's kind of funny how that works. So yeah, we've got a couple of different options. And what's this one?
This is a Summer Story from Hoops, which is down in Canal Park. And this is... so my kind of day was really bad. And I bought this strictly because it's 7.3%.
I love that you picked your beer based on alcohol content.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it's been a long day. That will do.
Why not? Yeah, exactly.
And
I mean,
I'm not super picky on beer. I like a lot of different kinds of beer. Like, I don't stick to one flavor or one style.
yeah, you really don't.
So I'm like, okay, if it's bad, I'm like, I'll tolerate it.
Yeah, I'm a little bit more picky, but not really that picky. Like, I don't care if it's Keystone. I don't care if it's Bud Light.
That's where I get picky. I do not like cheap canned beer. Like,
okay.
I'll drink a Bud Light and I'll drink a Keystone, but I won't purposely buy Bud Light or Keystone.
Right. Yeah, like
maybe Grain Belt, and that's only because I'm at a show or something,
Exactly.
and I don't want to spend $12 on a beer.
yeah, like I'll drink light beers and not feel too bad about it, except the next morning when I'm shitting my brains out. But typically, I'm an IPA kind of guy. I'm an IPA. I'm a pale ale type of dude. That's my style.
IPA and stouts.
Yeah,
Those
I
are my
love stouts. Stouts are what got me into craft beer in the first place.
So speaking of stouts, last night, wife and I went on a date night.
I thought you were gonna crack a short joke.
Your sort
There's a
and
window
stout.
there. Yeah.
We went on a date night because my work, instead of having a family day this year, allowed us to pick from a couple of gift cards to kind of make up for it. So I picked the 2 tickets to the aquarium so we take the kids.
Nice.
And then a gift card to Seven West, which is an awesome brewery. Well, not brewery, but it's the kind of a beer hall, bar and grill.
Yeah, it's a tap house.
Tap house. Thank you.
Yeah, so it's got like 50 different beers on tap.
They had one of my favorite stouts on tap last night.
Oh yeah.
Left-handed.
Left-handed.
It's a milk stout, and it's
Sweet.
the only other place I've ever been able to find it is Up Down
Oh,
down,
that's
down
awesome.
the city. So I saw that, and
That's cool.
I ordered that, and that is as dark as this microphone. Like, you cannot. We're eating outside, and you couldn't even tell what's on the other side of that glass.
It's a beer you can chew on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, the wife got she got some like raspberry lemonade cider.
Nice.
And it looked like slightly yellowish water next to myself. The waitress brings it out, and I just looked at her and I just laughed. I'm like, one of us has testicles. It's not you.
Precisely.
I'll take the step.
That's awesome.
She tried it and just can't do it.
Yeah.
She'll try my beers, but with other than Summer Shandy, we do not like the same beer.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my wife's she loves beer. So she's pregnant right now, and she loves beer so much that she does not want to give up drinking it. So we get craft beers that are non-alcoholic for her. So we have Ursa Minor, which shout out to Ursa Minor. You guys are awesome. They're the guys who work with us on the Machines and Caffeine shows. That Bent Paddle, or not Bent Paddle, that Back Alley and Dad Mods run. They provide us with some space and like some little accommodations. But they had a non-alcoholic beer, actually, and so Chloe was way into that. So we get a few options here locally, and my wife's so into beer that she'll get the NA version because she just does not want to go 9 months without it.
See, at least we live in an age where there is craft NA beer.
It's amazing. Like, there's a lot of them, too.
I remember growing up, one of my buddies in high school, his dad used to drink, got in a lot of trouble, doesn't drink anymore. And we'd go out to the cabin, and he'd have his O'Doul's lined up. Like, would you like one? And sure, and it just tasted awful.
O'Doul's isn't the best.
And to think, like, that was, I don't know, 15 years ago, 14 years ago, and now there's craft NA beer. Like, it's like, they've crafted so many kinds of beers. Like, well, what if we craft something that's not beer? What else can we craft?
Yeah.
Like, that's just kind of cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. I know. There's just so much variety now. And it's amazing. Like, my understanding is back in the day, wine was the variety. And beer was pretty simple, pretty linear. Like, there's only a handful of them. And then, like, you know, like Coors originally was actually a darker beer. It was more of a lager.
Why'd they change that?
I don't know. They still make it.
Do they? I might have to try that.
Yeah, they still make it. It's pretty good. It definitely has a little more flavor to it.
Like the more traditional American beer, like Bud Light, Coors, Budweiser. Coors is the one I'd pick over all of them. I don't mind Coors, but even then, it's like it's piss water. I'm sorry. There's no nice way to put it. If you're a Coors fan, I'm sorry, but I don't know. It's like drinking Sprite. Like, there's nothing special about it.
Yeah. Well, I like the light beers for shotgunning.
Okay, I'll give you that. I wouldn't want to shotgun a stout and probably throw up.
I mean, when we go to the racetrack, it's kind of like all bets are off. Like, we'll drink whatever's put in front of us. Yeah. So, I mean, what do we... Natty Ice? Yeah, Natty Ice is a really common one that we'll have there. We'll shotgun them occasionally. No, we're not alcoholics. We don't condone drinking and driving. None of that stuff.
But drinking and tricycling?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, a little bit different ballgame. So yeah, I mean, we'll drink a little bit of everything at the racetrack.
If I remember right, one year, Andrea, a friend of ours, was it apple pie?
Oh,
It was a mason jar with like a cinnamon stick in it and a bunch of alcohol, and it was the best drink I've ever had.
Yeah, it was super good. I don't know what exactly that was, but it was called apple pie.
I know it was strong though.
Isn't it moonshine?
Probably.
I thought moonshine was the booze, or one of the booses, and then I think there was a schnapps in it too.
Probably.
Yeah, concoction.
All I know is it tasted so good that you would probably go to the hospital with that stuff.
If you guys know, what was it called? Apple pie?
Apple pie.
If you guys know what apple pie is, let us know in the comments, because we'd be really curious to try and mix it up ourselves.
And, maybe
super good.
Maybe on the next podcast we'll make some apple pie.
Yeah, hey, no joke. Actually, if you guys will give us a recipe for that, if somebody's got a good recipe, maybe we'll whip that up for one of these.
So, what's your favorite mixed drink then? Like, I'm a White Russian kind of guy. I know I'm a big fan of the Dude and the Lebowski, but it tastes like Yoo-hoo and coffee, and I don't know. I like that flavor.
Okay, well,
or screwdrivers. Screwdrivers are simple.
At the risk of sounding a little bit like a douchebag, I actually like my booze straight.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I don't do a lot of mixed drinks, so I tend to drink I have a handful of different types of alcohol that like I won't buy booze unless I can drink it straight. So
Okay, I
if
see
I'm
that.
drinking vodka, it's Grey Goose. If I'm drinking Scotch, you always have to drink Scotch straight, but it's Lagavulin, it's Lafroig, it's
Is that the one
um,
that smells like like a wood fire?
yeah.
Okay, I was gonna say.
Well, a lot of them do.
One of them, like it smelled like a campfire.
Yeah, Glenmorangie is a really good one. That's a very expensive one. We don't drink that very often, but yeah, like or if I'm drinking whiskey or something like that. Like I like a couple of bourbons, but like when it comes to the other types of liquor, yeah, it's like tequila. I've got a very specific one called Calenda that you cannot find around here anymore, which breaks my heart. Or Patron is another one. You can actually sip those straight.
Really?
Now, as far as mixes go, Maker's Mark and 7 Up is super good.
I've been told
I
that.
do like that
You're the
mix.
second person in a week to tell me that.
Oh, that's cool.
My
Yeah.
coworker of mine who is a little bit of an alcoholic told me
Oh,
that.
boy. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. I'm kind of drawing a blank
But
on
I-
others, but
I-
White Russians are pretty good.
I respect that, like it, take it as it is. Because like the wife's like, well, how can you drink that when it comes to the beers I like? Well, I like my beer to taste like beer. I don't really like
Right.
ciders for that reason. It's like if I'm having a drink, I want it to taste like a drink. Mm-hmm. If I wanted juice, I'd get a glass of juice.
Yeah, exactly.
Screwdrivers being the exception because I love vodka, and it's just orange juice just makes me think it's healthier than it is.
Well, it's ironic because orange juice isn't very healthy in the first
I know.
place.
It's the orange juice that's not healthy for you.
Well, I mean, it does have a ton of vitamin C, so it's kind of like it's up for debate about
Yeah, but 3 or
how
4
that
screwdrivers
balances
in,
out.
I mean, you're
You still got vitamin
past
C?
that. You're past that though.
There you go. You're boosting your immune system while also poisoning yourself.
So so during this whole COVID thing, I should drink more screwdrivers.
Maybe. I don't know.
I'm gonna have to break that to the wife.
You gotta ask Dr. Drew. He'll
We're
know.
gonna be at a cabin for 4 days. I mean,
There you go.
why are you adding vodka to your orange juice at 8 o'clock in the morning?
Why
It's
not?
COVID.
COVID.
COVID, sorry, babe.
Exactly. The alcohol will kill any of the germs in my mouth, so I'm just keeping everybody safe.
Or me roasting in the sun will just burn everything off. Mm-hmm. Regardless, I'll be safe inside and out.
I keep hearing that there is some relationship between being outdoors in the sun and the virus not being able to survive due to UV light. So getting drunk outside in the sun wouldn't be the worst thing.
Well, it looks like my weekend's made
So
up.
if you think about it, you're actually more at risk if you were to like go to the gym. If you were to go to the gym, not wear a mask, it is more dangerous to your health than to go lay on a beach and get drunk in the sun.
I've been living wrong my entire life.
Man.
Maybe this pandemic's a good thing for
Dude,
my life. that-
Hakuna Matata.
No shit.
I think we're onto something here. Oh, man. All right, so full disclosure, guys, this is the second recording of this
Yeah.
flippin' podcast. So the first one went really, really well until we went to any of our segments, which the audio cut off because the audio wasn't set up correctly. So,
Take it as you may.
yeah. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna like recap on the history piece because we're gonna talk about the Saab.
Oh.
You gonna be all right?
No, I'm fine. It just like I had
Good on the wrong tube.
a burp as I was like drinking my beer, and I was like, oh no, I'm gonna spew it.
Oh, that's dividing by 0, man. You're gonna turn inside
Oh
out.
man, that was awful.
Man, so you're telling me that
this
the
is-
viewers almost caught beer coming out of your nose.
Yeah. Oh god, that was so bad. Like,
Oh, man,
you ever
that'd
had
be
it where
so
like burns
good.
your throat because of it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's such a weird feeling.
Yeah, it is. You need to go throw up or something?
No, I'm good. I think I need more beer.
Okay, perfect. Okay, so we're going to recap on the history for the week, and
There we
it
go.
is about... Hey, look, the audio actually works. It is about the Saab 96.
Yep. So Saabs are freaking sweet. These things, as you can, Saab's always just been weird.
Yeah,
And
they're an
these-
odd brand.
And these are just beautiful and weird. It's like a very fine line, and they write it perfectly.
It really is. The Born by Jets car company.
Yeah, I once saw a meme that said "Born by Jets, ruined by GM."
Isn't that the truth?
It's very true, with the exception of the Vegan.
The Vegan is
The Vegan's
actually
a masterpiece.
really beautiful
I would
car.
love to own one someday.
Yeah, so this thing, I mean, these were, they started in the 60s. I think it was very early 60s. Yeah, I mean, they've kind of seen a lot of use, everything from just being like a normal commuter for a kind of unique crowd. I mean, clearly this was a different kind of person who was purchasing these. So they were in production, they began production this week back in like 1961. So what I want to show you is a modified version, which we just happened to come across this while we were doing a little bit of research on these.
That thing's a piece of art.
And that thing is wild.
So pretty.
It is so weird and also kind of beautiful and also completely hideous.
Yeah, actually, that's a good way. Like,
You know,
it's got kind of a modern look with classic body
Yeah.
lines, and your eye just doesn't quite know where to go. Your eye wanders a lot on it,
it does.
and I kind of like that about it.
That's true. Actually, you know, when I'm like trying to put a car together, especially the motorcycles I build, I'm always concerned about, well, where do I want my attention to go on the bike or on the car?
You have body
Like,
lines
what's
that
the
follow to a
focus?
certain point, or maybe
Yeah.
a certain piece is chrome while everything else is flat black around it, whatever it may be. But like this has like this monstrous clear turn signal on it for some reason. But it's got like the racing lip in the front with the kind of wide body,
Yeah.
but it still has a nice bubble look to everything.
Yeah,
It's
and
so weird.
What's weird is that if you compare this to like the original photos, you'll see that like so there's this natural line that's on the fenders, but there are no lips. So what they did was they grafted on lips to, yeah, like you said, give it a wide body effect.
Hold on a second.
It almost looks like Mark 1 Rabbit or Mark 1 Golf lips.
Did they add what is it, like a rain guard or a lip over the side windows? But it looks like there's a lip to it.
I think there might be in this one. Let's look
can't
at
tell.
the original. Let's look at the first photo.
I can't tell that's a because the
I think
modified
it
one.
might.
It looks like they kind of extended the body of the roof line.
Here,
a
well,
little
we've
bit.
got one more photo that we can show everybody, and that is that the Saab 96 was also used as a rally car. And yep, okay, so you can see there it does actually have a
Okay.
rain channel.
Yeah, I was looking at that. I'm like, did they add that? Because that's kind of sweet.
Yeah. Yeah, so these cars, they definitely got used in rally a fair amount. So there's a couple survivors left that look like this.
Which is kind of surprising because they only made like 60 horse out of a
Mm.
V4 engine.
So they had a couple of different engine options. The original one was a two-stroke, and the later model was a V4, which is really a trip. And you think about like, I mean, typically, kind of the contemporary four-cylinder is an inline four, and instead,
Or a flat 4 if you're a Subaru head.
exactly.
But still,
so yeah,
V4
it's
is even
basically you're taking a Subaru engine, you're tilting them up to be a V pattern. It's crazy.
They
The
didn't blow head
Honda
gaskets,
Magna.
though.
Yeah, well, maybe. We don't know. The Honda Magna motorcycles, they all had V4s from what I recall. So yeah, it's kind of based on that same principle. But that one was a water-cooled, I believe. Yeah. So they're pretty special cars. They saw a lot of rally time, and I mean, clearly, like that one's really cool looking.
Yeah, I'd drive the crap out of that.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, with only 65 horse, you wonder about like, I mean, how it is coming out of corners and stuff. But I mean, it's got to do okay. It's got to get out of its own way.
You're probably not going fast enough for it to really be an issue.
Right.
It's probably more like, cool, here's a corner and a little bit of acceleration.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
not enough to. It's one of the old saying, you know, it's funner to drive a slow car fast than a fast car slow.
You know, isn't that the truth? Yeah. Well, and I mean, hopefully we can get one Rallycross this year with the Civic. The Civic is for sure like that.
I just want to move it away from the front of my house because it's been sitting there for the last like 4 months.
I know. Yeah, if anybody's interested and they want the car, if we don't end up selling it, it's just going to continue with its normal use of being raced and stuff. But
$1,000 or 16 pizzas. Maybe? No. I did my math
I mean,
wrong.
16 pizzas would be a bargain because they just go get 16 What's the really cheap one? Little Caesars.
Little Caesars.
Little
Oh,
Caesars. Yeah. So it's 16 to... Okay, so that's 30. So that's like $80.
That's what we paid for the car.
That's funny. Okay. We're not going to take 16 pizzas.
No.
So it is going to be for sale, or is for sale. If you're interested, let us know. We do have another another chassis that will become a Thrasher for us later on, which if we do sell that car, the funds will be going directly into that build.
Yep. So if you'd like to see us build more crazy stuff, give us your money. We'll give you a car and we'll build more crazy stuff.
Yeah, really. I mean,
help fund the show, and you get a piece of history. It's an award-winning race car. Mm-hmm. Never really beaten on because we haven't really driven it that much.
Right. Yeah, that's true. Really, so it's kind of got all of our fab work, all of our hours put into it with not a lot of abuse.
Yeah, 3 out of 4 doors work. I mean, what more can you want?
Exactly. You could fit kids on one side. You got to make sure you open the door in front before you open the back one, but details.
It's got a radio that gets louder when you turn it down and doesn't change stations.
Yeah.
Sometimes turns off.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
The heat works, though.
The heat works like a charm.
The heat works perfect.
Yeah. So it's a very good car for the winter.
Yep. It's even
Has
blue,
wipers.
like ice.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
got a Yeti
Well,
on
it's got the Yeti on it.
Yeah, we'll even scrape our names off the windows.
Well, and here's the thing. Like, anytime that thing's been tagged on the internet, people go nuts about how much they love it. So,
if you want cool points,
yeah,
all yours.
let us know. Or, if nobody's interested in it, we'll just continue racing it.
And wrap it around a tree someday, probably.
Yeah, exactly. Or who knows? I mean, maybe we'll boost it. Maybe we'll put a 400 horsepower turbo engine in it, and
we do have a spare D series for it.
We have a spare D series. I got a couple turbos over there.
Yeah. Plan B.
I don't know. I mean, maybe.
That's plan B if it doesn't
Put
sell.
a Wu-Tang war whistle on it. Some Vitara pistons. See what happens.
That reminds me, after this, I have to order a turbo. Yeah, so my day's been really bad, as Jake alluded to earlier. And I figured what better way than to spend some money and buy a turbo later tonight.
Oh, that is such a good idea. The solution to all of your problems is purchasing a turbo.
Yep, and it'll keep me from buying a boat. So it's a win-win situation.
Yeah, it's always a good thing if you can keep from buying a boat.
I've been on a boat fix since Saturday, and I don't know. I have the money for one.
Boats are nice.
But I shouldn't buy one because of other projects sitting at my house.
Right.
So if I buy the turbo, it lowers the funds just enough to where I can't realistically buy a boat, which is a good thing.
What if we built a Dad Mod's boat?
Oh, don't say that.
Because then it's a shared responsibility.
I'm all for it, but I got one project at a time.
What if we bought one and just bought one and slapped a Dad Mod sticker on the side of it, and it was a Dad Mod's boat?
We can store it at my house. That way my wife's
or back behind the garage
thing.
here. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. I'm not opposing that.
Or we'll get a paddle boat. That'd be more appropriate for how fast our cars go.
What's faster, the Civic or this paddle boat?
Or this paddle boat. Probably the paddle boat.
Probably.
Maybe. Paddle boats smell less.
That's true.
Yeah.
Get better fuel economy.
So, dad moments.
Yes.
Do you have anything that you want to touch on? I mean, we have a few photos, but again, we had a failure last week, or not even last week. It was a few days ago. Sunday. 3 days ago, whatever. Period of time between now and then.
I've had some really good dad moments, but my kids were little a-holes tonight, so this is my dad moment.
Oh, nice. Okay. So I don't have a photo, but for the first time, my son ripped ass on my arm.
I do have a dad moment to share with you after this.
Okay.
That's
so
funnier than hell, though.
I've never had this happen. Like, I've had him rip ass while I'm holding him and whatever, but this was like straight up bare ass to bare skin. Like,
you got the noise with it and everything.
Oh, totally. And there's a specific noise that happens when it's bare ass to bare skin. It's more of a clappy kind of sound to it. And yeah, we had just gotten him out of the bath, and he was kind of like, because he's just like a little rager. Like, he's always just like running at 1,000,000 miles an hour. You get him out of the tub, and he's doing circles on the floor in his bedroom and squealing at the top of the lungs. And he's got all like these little Hot Wheels cars, and he's always fucking running in circles and being nuts. And I had to pick him up to try and get a diaper on him, because they'll fight you He doesn't want to put a diaper on. He just wants to run around with his wiener doing this the whole time. And like, so I gotta grab him, and once I picked him up, he like let me have it. He just ripped ass, and it was so loud and audible, and I felt it. I felt it. Like, it was and I expected once I let him down that I was gonna see a bit of a mark. There's nothing, because I mean I would have had a photo to share. If there was a stain, I'd have a photo to share, but there wasn't. There wasn't. Yeah, it was just very, very loud, crackly, kind of like a fireworks, a bit of a pop and crackle to it.
So my story also involves bath time.
Awesome.
So first off, my kids did not want to eat dinner tonight. They both ate like one bite, and they're like, "Well, we're done." I'm like, no. Rule is at our house, you have to take a couple bites of everything, and then you can be done. You don't have to eat all of your food, but you have to have like 2 bites of, usually it's like a 3-course meal. So after fighting with that and, taking away their TV time before they go to bed and all that, and their playtime and whatnot, like, no, we're going to finish dinner, you're going to take your bath, read your book, and go to bed. We get them in the bath, and I'm watching my son, and he's been going through a phase where he's been pooping a lot, so his butt gets really red. So you have to wash that area very good and let him soak and all
almost
that.
like daily.
Yeah, so he's standing up, I'm washing him, and I have the wash rag on my hand, and I have to wash his manhood. Mm-hmm. So I wash his manhood, and he just turns to me and just smirks, just gets this big grin on his face.
Oh, like you're handling my nuts.
Just like, you little shit.
He's looking at you and he's challenging you. And he's like, wash those balls.
Yep, he's like, hey, peasant, you missed the spot.
Exactly. I know, my son does the same thing. I've totally gotten that look.
And I'm just like, dude, like, first off, rule number 1,
know.
from now on, when I'm washing you anywhere in your bathing suit area, don't make eye contact. Ever. I never want that to happen again.
God.
Like, he just
He
that
looks
look.
at you like, yeah.
Guess who's cleaning my balls right now?
You are. You think you're the boss, but you're cleaning my ass right now, my balls.
Just like, I couldn't believe
Oh
this.
my God.
Man, that's gonna that image, that smirk of his is just gonna be
Just
in my mind for the rest of the life.
Oh my God. So when he gets married someday, that's gonna have to be a part of your speech.
Like, all right, Mrs. or Mr. Allen, whatever it is.
Whichever team he bats for.
Exactly. We don't know. Just so you know, if you're ever washing his family jewels, he might give you a look. And let me tell you, it looks something like this.
Oh man, that's so priceless. God. I know it is moments like that you'll remember forever.
Yeah, and for all the wrong reasons.
Yeah, I guess. I guess so. God damn. Man. I know, having kids is just such a riot. You have a lot of these situations. Yeah, there really isn't.
There's not.
It's comedy at the most random times.
Yeah.
You won't expect it. You're just like going about your day. You might be having the shittiest day in the world, and what you don't realize is you'll be laughing to tears that night because the kid, I don't know, like humped the dog or something like that randomly.
Well, something similar. He didn't hump the dog. Also my son. So my son loves heavy music. And when I say heavy music, I'm not talking like Disturbed or Breaking Benjamin. Yeah. He loves like Miss May I, Miss Sugar, Lamb of God, burn the
Slayer.
Burn the Priest, Slayer, like just really heavy stuff.
That's amazing.
And recently he started growling. Like, just for no reason. He'll just growl. I'm like, okay, I know exactly where you got that from.
That's so cool.
Yesterday we had to go pick him up from daycare, which is my mother-in-law's. And he runs to her, looks her in the eyes, and then just growls at her. Just
right
and
on.
I'm like, yeah, dude.
Oh my God, you're turning your kids into little psychos. Because your daughter is a little fucking rocker too.
She's a little badass. She likes more like the Coheed and the Kill Switch, like the stuff with a little bit more clean vocals. But yeah, she definitely has that. Like we've been raising her as the stand up for yourself. Don't take anybody's shit. Like because you're a female, you might get picked on a little bit more. You might deal with a little bit more bullshit than what I had to go through. You had to go through. Mm-hmm. So don't deal with people's shit.
Yeah, exactly.
Like if somebody's pushing you around,
unless
End it.
more people might question you, they might not. They might take you for granted or
Yep.
whatever. And here's the thing: if she's gonna be straight, she's got to deal with dudes.
Yeah.
And dudes are pushy.
Yeah.
And shitty. Like,
And
she's gonna have to deal with teenage boys.
And I can tell you right now, if she stays on the path that she's at, there won't be that problem.
Yeah, right. Like, she'll
does
punch
not,
a motherfucker.
She does not put up with shit.
Yeah,
at all.
exactly.
Like
I know that's the best.
She'll
thing
listen,
is-
but like if her brothers, for instance, well, just a few weeks ago, I shared with you guys, he was hitting her with the toy. So what'd she do? She took the toy and bashed him in the head with it. Like, I'm not put up with your crap.
I know, it's so funny. And the bummer is that, like, you do have to use that as a teachable moment. You have to be, like, pretty authoritarian and like try and explain to them like how they screwed up and how you need to have more. You need to control yourself better.
There's a time and a
stuff
place,
like that.
and like, are you in any physical danger, and can mom and dad
Exactly.
help you out with what's going on?
Exactly.
If we can, then just come get us.
But if it's a situation where she's 16 years old and some, like, her boyfriend who's 18 or 17 is being pushy or whatever,
And she kicks him in the dick.
punch him in the fucking snout, like, hell yeah.
Yep.
Then that's a high five situation and you did your job.
Yeah, I have a feeling we'll get a phone call from school someday.
Oh, totally.
No, Harper punched a kid in class, and my first question is going to be like, well, did he deserve it?
Yeah, right.
And if it was either the kid was picking on somebody else, and
Mm-hmm.
she stood up for that kid, or was picking on her, and she didn't put up with his shit, that's bad parenting on that kid.
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
going to go take my daughter out for ice cream and pizza.
Hell yeah. She's going to get bitched at by the teachers and the
Yeah,
principal
like,
or whatever,
you
and you're going to
fucking
be like,
You want to drive the
Okay.
BMW home?
okay.
Here's the keys.
And then when she walks out of the building, you're going to high five her and be like, no, really, you handled your shit.
Yep.
They aren't connected to reality. This is how you handle yourself. Hell yeah.
Yeah, I'm a little,
Cheers to that, man.
I'm a little afraid at times because she's definitely a hellion.
She's going to direct that at you at some
You've
point.
met Harper, yeah. She
Yeah. Yes, I've met Harper.
She can be a tough cookie sometimes.
Yeah. Hell yeah, she can be.
But
Yeah. Good
it's
kid,
what it
man.
is. She also knows she can play hard, which is good. Both
Right.
so both the
Right.
kids have realized, don't play hard with mom. Dad, you can try and strangle.
Exactly.
Roman will now I play rough with both the kids, and he'll come up and he'll try to like wrap his arms around my throat and like pull me to the ground.
That's awesome.
If Harper, I'll just sit on the couch and Harper will
Nice.
climb up on the couch, and next thing I know, I have two little legs, and she's like, "Give me a piggyback ride."
She'll just climb on your
Come on,
head.
kid.
That's so awesome.
So it's cool to see as they get older, they kind of realize like, oh, mom's more the nurturing. Like, mom won't put up with your shit, but mom's definitely more nurturing, more of the like arts and crafts type.
Totally.
And dad's more the like, yeah, let's go throw some punches.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, in my family, it's like my wife is definitely more of the nurturing, the sort of, she likes calm, she likes calm, she likes comedy, she likes goofing around and stuff like that. But she's not as into like the physicality where it's like, I'll wrestle.
Yeah.
I'll chew on him, I'll like
Try to feed
You
him to
know,
the dog.
Exactly. I love like roughhousing with my little dude. And I mean, he's still super young. He's only 2 years old. So that's going to just increase in its intensity. But I mean, as it is, that's definitely like the balance in our household too. And it's the best.
It's the best.
I love it. I love that feeling of roughhousing my little boy because he's squealing and having a good time. He's grunting and like trying to mess with you and whatever. Yeah, it's a good time. It's the best. It's a good balance.
So if you're ever over for pizza again, and Harper comes up to you and says, "Hey, want to fight?"
So I should say yes and fight her?
Yeah. What she means by that, like fake punches and like just try to push her over.
Okay, so I shouldn't just like
Like,
turn
don't
and
just
clock
don't
her.
duck her, but like a fake punch and then like shove her down with your fist.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
Okay,
so
so
that's what she means by that.
okay, so if she comes up and she's like, "You want to fight?" I'm like, and I just kind of just nudge and
Yeah,
maybe push.
don't deck. You're not Mike Tyson.
I just want to know what to expect.
Yeah,
Am I
just-
going to do that and she's going to counter?
No, you'll
gonna
probably
catch
knock
one
her
across the
over,
chin.
and she might like try to push back at you, or she might just fall over and laugh.
Okay. Or she's going to grab the lamp and just crack me in the side of the face.
More like butterfly knife.
Jesus.
She's a big fan of the movie Face Off, so
That's hilarious.
I'm joking. I've never let her
I
watch
have
that.
a butterfly knife because of that stupid
Yeah,
movie.
you know
I've
exactly
had
what
it
I'm
for,
talking about.
I don't even know how many decades.
We don't let her watch that kind of stuff. She likes Spider-Man. She's a big Spider-Man fan.
Oh, that's amazing. All right, so I'm gonna zip right into the marketplace find because
I've been looking at boats, so all of mine are fails.
That's
It's not even
hilarious.
bother to share one.
So that's fail of the week, man.
My fail of the week is looking at boats.
Just looking at
nonstop.
Glasstrons. Okay, so marketplace ad for this week. I actually found a couple, but I decided to only share one because I'm going to save the next for next week. Okay, so Power Cruise just happened.
Yep. And
Power Cruise is
almost deleted Facebook because of it.
I know
that
it's
close.
Oh, it's breaking my heart looking at all this stuff. Knowing what a fun time it was. Do you know the Ford GT crashed?
Yes. Same spot.
That sucks.
So I saw a video of that.
There's video of the crash.
Ryan Peterson, if you watch this, which you won't because you don't support your friends, has
You son of a bitch.
has a 30-second video from inside the car from the passenger. So they go underneath the bridge, same corner that Dad had issues. He shoved into second quick, and I'm assuming he hit sand, and it kicked out. And at the point that it kicked out and went towards the wall, that's when the video stops. But he bounced it off the wall.
Oh my god!
Took out the front end.
So this is the new generation Ford GT, not the brand new, but like the replica version.
Yeah, they're
the one
taller.
that Clarkson loves.
They're tall. Well, he loves it because he can fit in it.
Yeah, so
it's the taller version.
That version, they call it Big Bird because it's bright yellow, and this thing is. Well, I don't know if we have a definite answer on how many horsepower,
it's twin
but
turbo.
Yeah,
I think it makes 1,400.
That's what I've heard is 1,400 horsepower. All their cars are just insane like that. The whole Christmas family. So evidently, this thing crashed at Power Cruise, and last year, what is it, Lord Vader? Lord Vader, which is was it a Murcielago or something like that?
Oh,
Gallardo?
No, it wasn't Gallardo. I think it was a Murcielago.
Yeah. That one was twin turbo, and that one was some ungodly. It's well over 1,000. No joke. If you look
I
up,
want to say it was 1,700 or 1,800.
Yeah,
because he did half miles with it and whatnot.
Well, and that's what those cars are all built for. Yeah. Is all half mile stuff. So it's all top speed kind of things. Yep. So look up Koi Christmas, or the Christmas family. They're setting records with their GTRs. They've got so many cars that are over 1,000 horsepower. It's insane. But the last two Power Cruises, they've brought the heat. And they had two Lambos this year. One was the new version.
The Gucci model. The green and... or is it Louis Vuitton?
I'm not sure. Was that an Aventador?
Yes.
Something like that.
Anyway, one's stock, though,
so the Ford GT crashed this year, which is such a heartbreaker. But... Anyway, we digress.
Yeah, everybody's okay. If you're wondering, he walked away, no issues.
And last year, Koi almost died with his best buddy AJ.
Yeah, AJ pulled him out and
insane
saved him.
Story. And if you guys are interested, we could try and find a link to that. We do actually have video of the crash. Not like the moment that it crashes, but we have video of the sort of aftermath on our page. We didn't love putting that up, but it was... we had it. It was there.
And you can Google search. There's a bunch of news articles about it and stuff like that as well that might have a little bit more information and video or photos, whatever you're looking for. So, yeah.
Yeah. So, Power Cruise.
Yep.
The reason I bring that up with regards to the marketplace is Power Cruise is an event that is created by Australians. So, Michael Gupp.
Gupp's as far as I can list on that.
I'm not sure. Gupp created the event, and he's Australian, and the marketplace find in Minnesota.
What'd you find?
Is a Holden.
Oh, that's so
is a
cool.
Real deal 70s Ute from Australia.
Okay, it's super cool. I hate that it's a flatbed. I
agree.
They ruined it with the flatbed. I'm sorry. That just tells me that the back half was probably rotten.
I'm going to guess it was hit.
Or hit. Hit's a safe bet, too.
I'm going to guess just based on how clean this thing is that it was hit. But here's the thing. Have you ever seen a Holden in the States before?
No, but... $30,000 for half a Holden, though, is a lot of money still.
Yeah, well, and I agree. I'm not actually like arguing the merits of the pricing and stuff like that. Like
It's still super cool, and I do like how the flatbed follows the body line all the way back.
yeah,
That's
it
actually kind of
does.
cool.
And I agree. Like I hate that there's no box, and I would assume that if you put in enough effort, you could probably hunt down a box. But
Probably shipping something into the
I
States.
I love Utes.
Oh, same here.
I absolutely love Utes.
You're talking to a guy who, if he wins the lottery, the first car he'd go and buy is a freaking Subaru Brat.
Oh yeah, right.
Like, that's my dream car. It sounds so silly. People want Ferraris and Corvettes and Mercedes. I want a Subaru Brat.
Yeah.
I've wanted one since I was like 14.
And I want an El Camino.
Nothing wrong with that.
I feel a little self-conscious saying that.
Second on that list, 59 El Camino.
Yeah, right. So I would want like the next generation, like the round headlights version. And the reason for that is because my grandpa had one. So
Okay, that's justifiable then.
yeah. So my grandpa, total legend. I spent a lot of time with that dude growing up, and I have a lot of memories of riding in the El Camino. And he used it strictly utilitarian. Like,
That's kind of what they're designed for.
yeah, like he used the crap out of it. He'd throw anything and everything in the back. It didn't matter if it was manure, if it was class 5, if it was a four-wheeler, whatever. Like, it was his truck, and he'd drive that thing everywhere, and I loved it because it was like the weirdest car. He had a Chevy Love before that, which is fine and dandy.
Year? What year Chevy Love?
70s.
Okay, my dad had the last year, which I think is an 81.
Okay,
I'm
yeah,
not right.
yeah. This is the 70s.
That was
version.
the hot rod that I grew up working on. I use that term loosely. It was a lot of hand me tools, hold the light.
Yeah, yeah.
But he had a Chevy Love for the longest time until he lost oil pressure one day in it, and then it just sat and he.
Oh, that's such a
sold it
bummer.
out.
Yeah. Yeah, Chevy Loves were super cool. So the next upgrade that he got was the El Camino, and so that's where like my affection for that car comes from.
There was a Chevy Love that popped up for sale.
Really?
Yep. 78, 77.
Oh.
It looks
yeah,
kind of
okay.
It looks kind of rotten though. The guy's like
A lot of them are.
He's like, it'll clean up.
It'll clean up.
Sure.
That's such horse
okay,
shit.
Yeah. After you replace every panel on it.
Yeah, exactly.
I think he wanted like 4 or 35 for it.
Yeah.
But it wasn't Facebook.
It's one of those things. You head south, you'll find a better one.
I was gonna save it. It wasn't Facebook Marketplace. It was some classic card page that I was a part of.
Right.
And I'm not even sure where it was located.
Well, hey, if you come across something cool, we can always share it with the people from whatever site.
that was unfortunately. I'm sorry.
I mean,
you
was
guys-
this like a donkey porn kind of thing, and this was sort of something in the corner, and you don't want to take screenshots because
right
it
next to it
shows the filth that you look up on a regular basis?
On either side of that ad was how to grow my genitalia and hot Christian singles in my area. So that's why I didn't
How
say
to
it.
grill?
No, I said how to grow your genitalia.
Grow. I heard grill.
No.
And I'm like,
no.
wow, what are you looking at? That is like some BDSM on a whole nother level.
No.
Okay.
Magic pill was
So
apparently
I found a
popular.
Holden in Stillwater. And this thing. All right, so normally it's got a inline 6. Clearly they swapped it for something cooler. There's no grill marks on this, unlike Donnie's genitals.
It's 'cause I don't know how to shave right.
Yeah, right. So there we have
That is
$30,000 will get you a Holden with a flatbed from 1979.
That's super cool though.
It is super
it's
cool.
very cool.
I mean, honestly, okay, so if I were to put a price on that thing,
I think
I'd say 15.
I was gonna go
14.
20. I was gonna go 20.
Yeah.
Only because it looks super clean.
And that's only like what I could justify paying for it.
Yeah.
Because there's no box. Like, that's the thing. If there's no box on it,
Again, it's half the car.
it's how Ute can you consider it, It's awesome. It's an awesome car.
But that's like spending 10 grand on a split window bus, but not having a solid frame and floor pan.
Right.
You're only buying half of it.
You are. You really are. Yeah. So, amazing car. I don't think I'd buy it.
I'd think about it. I'd go
Yeah.
look at it, but
You
I'd walk
wouldn't,
away.
you wouldn't kick it out of bed.
I'd be like, I'm sorry, I can't make you an offer that's respectable. But I'd have to go see it in person just because of the kind of guy I am.
Yeah. Right. I know. Like, I would have to go check it out. I mean, it's beautiful.
we would be
I love
tired.
the front end of that
We would
thing.
be the people that everybody hates on Facebook
I know. Like,
Marketplace.
well, I would probably be upfront about it. I'd be like, hey, I just want to come out and see this thing. Are you okay with that?
Yeah.
Like, because I mean, I'm one of those guys that like I have to be upfront about that because I can't bullshit. I'd get there in the moment, and he'd be like, "So you're pretty interested in this thing?" And I'd be like,
No.
my poker face is garbage."
Let's see here. The bank only approved me for 12, and I think it's worth 15. So, no, I would definitely contact them and be like, "Hey, what kind of beer do you like? Like, let me come look at your car."
Exactly. So I just want to see it. It's obviously from the land of the badasses. So there we go. That's the marketplace find for
That's
the last couple of days here.
See, you find way nicer crap than I find. Everything
No.
find is all hacked together.
Here's the thing, dude. That what do they call it?
Am I just looking for the wrong
mower
stuff?
cycle. The mower cycle was amazing.
It was super cool.
I think that was the coolest thing that we had yet on our
it was super
marketplace
cool,
find.
but it was very backwoods thrown together. As you're finding more complete stuff, other than the lifted Geo you found.
I love that thing.
You found an '80s drag truck.
Yeah.
And a Holden.
Wait till you see the ones that are in the queue now.
You found some like really nice stuff. As everything I'm finding is like, well, my dad was drunk for a weekend and built this.
Yeah. Well, hey, I mean, the people will enjoy it then. We got a balance. I'll find the really strange, unique things, and you'll find these
crap.
Crap, yeah.
The interesting crap.
Exactly.
Oh,
it all works out. It all benefits the people that are actually watching our garbage.
I gotta look up more than just boats. Otherwise, that's all I'm gonna have to share. So I'm just gonna have
just a bunch of
3 boats. And like, I don't know what I'm looking at, but it's $1,500.
Yeah.
This one's blue.
The oh my god, it was a Crestliner. It was a 1979 Crestliner that was on my list. It was $650 with a trailer.
That's not bad.
Yeah, I know.
I don't know anything about boats, so that doesn't sound
No,
bad.
it's an old school speedboat.
That's super cool.
I love these things, and I couldn't believe the price on it. Like, I don't know. Believe me, I've been thinking about boats for a while now too. So I have a 1950. Oh my God, what is it? 54 Lone Star Admiral, which is a sort of like post World War II. So when all the homeboys came back from World War II, there was a lot of different companies that are just like pumping out like fun toys. So the guys that survived and made it back, they had some money, they were ready to get back to life and have some fun. And there's a company named Lone Star that started cranking out these really cool really cool 50s boats. And I have one. It's buried in a marsh basically, but it's an aluminum, old school. It's got like the whole like the pockets for the seats. So if you were to look at the boat, it's not very long. I think it's like an 18-foot or a 16-foot or something like that.
18 foot's a decent length.
Yeah, I think it's 16. It's 16-footer.
14s are kind of on the low
And
end.
so it's got like one pocket up front, and then that's where the steering wheel is, and there's another pocket right behind it, but they're sort of separate. Okay. And they've got bench seats in them. So it's kind of got that old school look to it, where it, like you look like you're tucking into like a little like a George Jetson kind of spaceship or something like that. I think it's super cool, and I want to dig it out one of these days and get to it. But
Are we gonna build boats one of these winters?
Well, here's the thing: we got to build motorcycles.
We gotta build.
I have like
3 other cars, then motorcycles.
I have 6 or 7 motorcycles. that I need to get to.
I have 2 I need to get to. 1 more I'd like to modify a little bit more.
Yeah.
But that's my Honda Civic. That's my reliable, responsible, good gas mileage motorcycle that I'm just gonna let it be.
Oh, the Grom?
The Grom. Yep.
Yeah.
I want to do some stuff to that, but I'm not touching that for a while.
Yeah, I wouldn't mess with it. No. It works amazing. It does everything you want it to do. It looks super cool.
Until some old guy backs into it.
Yeah, tell that story.
I think I told that story.
Okay.
I don't know if I did.
Old guy backed into it.
Yep, broke a fender at the end of my alley. I was stopped and I screamed and I was in between.
What'd you scream?
Hey!
Yeah.
I was just like, hey! For some reason, I didn't honk the horn.
Scream, break yourself!
Before you wreck yourself. But yeah, so he decided to put his car in reverse instead of going out of the alley into the street and backed into me breaking the fender. That's all I got damaged.
Fucking old people, man.
I made $10 off of that. I should have charged him more for my labor, but
I know that you made money on that deal because you didn't ride your bike for like a month.
For like a week.
Yeah.
A week and a half. I kind of jerry-rigged the fender. Kind of. I rigged it up using some flat stock, and drilled some holes, and kind of got the brake line not to hit the
Sweet.
tire. Yeah.
Whatever. It's half of owning a motorcycle. It's knowing how to just make it work.
Yep.
Yeah.
So it is what it is, but
Yeah.
I've been putting some miles. It's got just over 300 miles on it now.
Oh, really?
Yep.
Hey, you want to see something random?
Sure. What you got?
Okay,
What the hell is that?
I was on a walk, so I took a break from work, and I was out taking a walk, and I was going underneath a bridge.
The power is in the... I can't read the last word.
Diaper.
Diaper? The power is in the diaper.
The power is in the diaper.
All right,
I don't know.
then.
Super random
Yeah.
graffiti. So I was just out on a walk, and I came across the most random graffiti ever. You know, like, normally, like, there's something, it's a tagline, it's like somebody's tag mark, it's a
Maybe
artistic thing or
maybe
whatever.
A mural or something like that.
Exactly. This was just straight up the power is in the diaper. And I have no idea what the context of this is, but I'm a new dad.
Is that
Well, new
equivalent to,
dad.
like, shit happens?
Yeah, probably.
Is that what it is?
It's got to be
Shit
something
happens?
like that.
Power
I
is in
saw
the
it,
diaper.
and I laughed. I
So-
laughed a lot. I laughed enough that I had to take a couple pictures of it and send it to everybody I know except you, because I thought this would be very good to show you in this.
That's the beauty of doing these podcasts. We actually talk less now, which
Mm-hmm.
my wife is happier about because my phone's not getting blown up as much.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
And it was just like, here's all the stories from the week.
I'm sending you less dick pics now.
Yes.
Yep.
Yes. I'm swiping left a little bit less.
Okay, perfect.
Or is it right?
I don't
I
know.
cannot remember.
So, yep, power's in the diaper. You want to see another?
Sure. Oh, we saw that one. That's the one that got unloaded on the trailer. That
Okay.
thing's super cool.
So,
I love the whale tail joy.
this beast showed up in my area here recently.
A month and a half
So
ago.
what we have is an OBS. So this is like a 1988 to 1996, I believe, maybe 98. I don't remember when they switched over. It might be 98.
You're the OBS owner. You should know this.
So yeah, this thing is okay. So initially, it looks pretty ricey. You know, like I'll own the fact that it looks a little like 2004 Truckin' Magazine.
Brian O'Connor would drive that.
Probably. But here's the thing. If you look at this truck, what makes it special, and what makes me really think that there's more than meets the eye, is if you look at the back tires.
Okay.
Those are some meats.
Yeah, those are some slicks.
And in the
thing's
truck
cool.
box is a fuel cell. And I've actually gotten to hear this thing before.
Well, we heard it get
And-
unloaded, and it sounded pretty mean.
And it's not just like a uncorked TBI V8. You know, like back then, I think they had the Vortec. God, was that 5.7 liter throttle body injection, like an LT version or something like that? God, I wish I knew.
I think you're right.
Because like mine's got the throttle body injection 4.3 liter in it for now.
See, I don't know enough about GMs to give a good guess. I know enough to be dangerous and to stay
Right.
away from the whole spider fuel system and all that
Oh
fun jazz.
God. Well, it's actually not a terrible system if you get the electronic spider
I
injection. It's a little
remember
better.
Tanner trying to fix his, and it
Yeah.
being a freaking nightmare.
The Poppet version, the slightly older version, is a little worse because it's really sensitive to fuel pressure. But okay, so this guy, you know, is very, you know, 2004, 2006 Truckin' Magazine, but it's definitely built for a purpose. It's hearing it, it sounds high compression. It sounds like a pretty gnarly built V8, and looking at the body of it, unless this guy sunk a ton of money into just having it look like it's fast, which to me doesn't make a lot of
No,
sense.
because why would you do that to an OBS? Out of everything
Exactly.
You pick,
Why would you
that
do-
chassis, and why would you make that look fast?
Why would you do the whole body kit? Why would you do the wing? Why would you do the Cadillac taillights? Why would you do the French license plate on the back? Why would you go to all of that trouble and then put the big meats on it, the big weld racing wheel? I think those are weld wheels. With the massive meats on the back, if all you have is a stock TBI engine.
That does make sense.
And based on hearing the thing, it has a certain bark to it that leads you to think that it's high compression. So,
You can see, like I said, we heard it unload from the trailer, and it
yeah.
It sounded
roared.
pretty nice.
And it had there's just a certain sound to it that I really don't think that it was that stock compression ratio. So, it's just I love it because I just love the nostalgia of that era, and not because like I want to do that to my OBS, but just because it's cool. It's like a sort of a leftover, I don't know, remnant, like whatever you'd want to call it, of a scene that sort of come and went. It's like seeing a Civic or a what's another good one?
Like a CRX, seeing a modified CRX or a Prelude or Integra.
Yeah.
From that time, pretty much any Honda. Anytime I see a modded Honda that's done really nice, the first thing I think of is like, wow, that's so nice, but the scene is kind of gone. It's kind of evolved to something else.
Yeah, and I actually kind of like it. Because it's old enough now, it's got the nostalgia. It's sort of like bell bottoms, which I know bell bottoms aren't popular now, but everything kind of goes in cycles. But
we're just trying to bring those back.
Maybe I am, or Jinkos. It's just apparently baggy jeans. I wore the big Jinkos.
You look like a Jinko kind of guy.
I was.
Maybe it's just the hat being
for better
backwards,
for worse.
but
Hats backwards, just I don't know why. It's a comfort thing.
It's got nothing to do with Jinkos?
No, I mean, it really doesn't. I don't know. I was getting ready. I hopped out of the shower and I just threw the hat on. It went on backwards because this is just kind of like my I'm going to have a good time kind of hat.
Oh, it's not to hide the glare or anything like that?
The glare. So this podcast is brought to you by Hymns. You familiar with Hymns?
No.
So you didn't get the reference.
No,
It's a podcast thing. A lot of popular podcasts are brought to you by Hymns these days, which Hymns is sort of like this male wellness company that does like hair loss, and they do like a whole bunch of different things.
I got the impression of what they were, but I've never heard of them.
Yeah. So Hymns, if you guys want to sponsor us, I am thinning a little bit. I got a little bit of that Widow's Peak dough. So and it's a little thin in the back. Really, I'm just losing my fucking hair, dude.
That stress is not from me by any means.
No, sure.
If it makes you feel any better, when we were doing date night earlier this week, the wife was pulling out gray hairs. We stopped at a stoplight.
Right.
I don't know why she had tweezers on her, but she did.
Zit popping, bro.
She yanked out like 3 gray hairs. And she tried to cover me. She's like, I think you'll look good as a silver fox. I'm like, I'm looking down at my gut. And I'm like, yeah, we're not aiming for fox.
Silver bear, silverback.
Yeah, more of a like a walrus or a narwhal.
A walrus.
For that. We'll work our way to a fox, but we're definitely starting bigger.
Fair enough. Oh, hey, speaking of weight loss.
Oh.
So the last time that we talked about this, I don't know if we touched on it last week, but the week before,
I think we did. I think we were
introduced
like, we didn't lose anything.
Okay, so I lied. I think I lied. I don't know. Maybe I didn't lie. I gained 5 pounds. So I went from being 180, 179-ish, and then I gained 5 pounds last week, and it could have totally been after Thursday. I don't remember. You guys will have to let us know. So I weighed myself just a couple of days ago, and I was 185. Weighed myself today, I'm back to 180.
So I weighed myself Thursday before I came over here. I was at 110, or not 110, 210. I'm almost done with my beer.
Okay, good. So I'll have to hand you another one of these.
No. I was at 210. And
okay.
I know when we first started this, I was at 209 and a half. So I gained half a pound. I've been maintaining that
we suck at this.
Yeah. It's more long term than short term, I think.
Right. So we're not looking for short gains. We're looking for those long gains. Well, I mean, I know the recipe, and I kind of know a few of the things that I did that might have contributed to gaining a little bit.
Yeah.
So that's why I was able to bounce back so quickly. And I know women probably hear that, and they're just like, fuck you.
Probably.
Because women, it seems like they have to work a lot harder, and it has to take a lot more time. I think it just really comes down to metabolism and body, like the way that the bodies store fat, whatever. It's a little bit different.
Women's bodies are obviously completely different than males' bodies, but
right,
because they're designed to like house children for so long and all that. Like they're always the providers. Like, hey, when will we need this?
Right. Yeah, there's probably some truth to that. That could be why they're, more likely to store an extra layer of fat and that kind of thing. So it's, whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe
We're
if
not
there's
scientists.
actually a woman who watches this, if you could let us know in the comments.
So Charlie, what do you know about this? Sorry, buddy.
So yeah, I gained and lost. So I'm back at where I was. So I'm back hovering at the same figure.
Yeah, we did burgers last night, so I'm not. I didn't weigh myself today before I came over. I didn't want to know.
Yeah, I don't have a scale out here.
I figured I'd wait until like after our little trip and
yeah,
sitting in the sun drinking
cool.
beer.
So you'll weigh more. So next week we'll see. Okay.
But
What's going to be
I'll
funny
run a
about
little
this segment, I don't know what you'd call this, just like oversharing about our fat struggles.
Oversharing.
What's going to be funny about this is like most people are like showing progress and every week it's going to be like, I gained 2, I lost 4, I gained 4 back, I lost 6, I gained 20,
Followed by, I don't want to talk about it.
Yeah, exactly. Looking a little more round in the center.
The camera just slowly gets moved back a little bit each time. So
Exactly.
You both fit into the screen.
We like reduce the resolution so it's a little more pixelated.
You guys wear a lot of black for some reason.
Yeah, it's for a reason, guys. Yeah, such is life.
Yeah.
Wait, didn't you have a glass?
I did have a glass. I
Where'd
decided
you
not to
throw
use
it? Where'd you
It's
set
right
it? Okay, cool.
I decided just to drink from the can.
Here, split one of these with me.
No.
I don't want a full one, but
Nope, I'm done.
you're done.
I can feel that one.
Well, I mean, I'll walk with you home if you're afraid.
It's like 6 miles uphill both ways.
Yeah,
Almost
and like
in the
I said,
snow.
I'm trying to lose weight. So, you sure you don't want to try this?
Yeah, because then that
I'll
extra,
pour a little bit in that glass.
the extra calories are just going to make me have more weight. I see
Yeah,
what you're
well,
trying
that'll
to do
make
here.
me feel better. And okay, fair enough. No, it will make me feel worse. You should definitely have some of this.
Yeah, but you got to stumble like 40 feet to your room.
Yeah, but no, I'm telling you, if you drink, I will walk with you the half mile to your house, and then I will walk
it's
back.
further than a half mile. I think you're.
I don't
underestimating
care.
How far
I'm
it is.
watching my steps. So what do I got here? I've got
Like,
12,000 steps for the
I
day.
got a Fitbit, so we can calculate this out.
Exactly. I got 12,000 steps for the day, and I'd like to double that.
So your goal is to get your buddy drunk so you can walk him home to reach your own physical goals.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, thanks.
Exactly. See?
I feel loved.
Yeah, is that not altruistic? This is a mutually beneficial scenario.
I'm going to start trying to get you to buy me turbo parts just because it's mutual.
Get me to buy you. Why would it be mutual?
Because I'll let you drive the car.
Ooh,
Yeah.
okay.
You like turbo noises. I like turbo noises.
Yeah,
You
I'd
should-
put a turbo on everything if I
You should
could.
buy me a turbo then. I'll tell you what. I'll walk home if you'll buy me a turbo.
What if I go find some Dodge diesel and I go pick the HX35 off of it, bring it back? It's covered in crud. There's like scrapes on the compressor wheels.
240,000 miles on
I'm like, here we go. And you'll be like, okay, let's bolt her on. The Fozzie, right? We're talking about the Fozzie?
Sure.
Okay. Yeah.
Boost all the things. We'll boost
Boost
the
all
pilot.
things. Okay, sure.
We should boost the pilot.
Supercharge.
Yeah. We should not tell the wife.
She just like she like takes it to work one day and it's whining.
I'll just tell her like, hey babe, your water pump's going out. I gotta steal the car for the day, and then we'll just add a bunch of mods to it.
I think we should bag it. I think that'd be funnier.
She's got a 2014 kind of dark blue metallic Pilot. It's a touring, so it's got all the options. Super awesome car, great family rig, but it should be bagged.
It looked good.
Agree.
Yeah.
I think that thing tugged on some like 19s.
Bagged on some 19s.
Yep.
Totally, yeah.
Yep, would
that
totally
would look
rock.
amazing. I mean, she'd never let it happen. She'd hate you if you did it,
Oh,
but
yeah. She'd still curb
might
rash
be
the
worth
crap
it.
out of everything or hit a pothole with it.
she'd
and bang
curb
some-
stomp you?
Sorry, I
What?
said curb rashed.
Oh.
I don't
Okay.
know. I'd still maintain it. She'd be like, hey, my car's making a noise, fix it. Okay.
Right. Yeah, it'd be cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
Sweet.
So, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to flip over to the segment that we covered for last week, which is based on that idea of having the, what do we call it? It was
it was going to be tater topics. But
tater topics,
originally, we were going to use top the tater container, but if we ever get popular, who knows?
Right.
Not everybody knows who Top the Tater, what Top the Tater is.
Top the Tater.
Not who Top the Tater, what top.
What the
potato.
top the tater?
But everybody knows what a keg is, which is why I was supposed to pick up a mini keg,
Yep.
but obviously failed, as is my day. So
Yep.
I'll grab the Tupperware, which is hidden over there.
Oh no, we don't need to use it
No, you don't want to do it?
because we'll cut to the
Oh,
segment that we
you're
already
just-
recorded from last week.
Okay, so you didn't inform me of that.
Yeah, I know,
So
right?
now
Because
I
it's
just-
funnier this way.
Yeah, make me stand up, make a fool out of myself.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Exactly. Okay, cut to that segment. All right, welcome back.
Yep.
So how funny was that, right?
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah.
Talk about
You don't even remember what it was.
no,
You have no idea.
no, we were writing down. Oh, I wrote down the idea of 3 vehicles that everybody should experience in their life. You then gave me crap about my ability to spell and made me feel
It was
bad.
pretty bad, though,
which
dude.
There's a reason I work on big trucks for a living because I
Yeah.
can't spell. I'm not a guidance counselor like he is.
Oh, you son of a bitch.
Yeah, and then we talked about boats, and we
Exactly. We're
Why
back
not?
to boats.
we talked about airplanes.
round
We
circle.
talked about motorcycles, and we talked about supercars.
Yeah.
You want to go first?
Okay, sure. Well, I mean, there's only going to be one of them today. So do you want to pick it or
I'll
do
let
I
you go
pick it?
first.
You let
I'm
me go
already doing the
first.
shaking.
What if we pull one that's our own?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. My God, I'm so
Just
burpy.
close your eyes so you don't know what you're picking.
Okay,
Oh, not that one.
not that one. I can look at the screen over here and see what it is.
This is-
Oh, good. This is your terrible handwriting.
oh, God. Do you want me to read it then?
Ooh, this is pretty good. So, what are 3? My God, your spelling is horrible.
Oh, yeah.
What are 3 vehicles everyone should experience at least once?
That's the one
That
I wrote
was
down today.
You wrote that today?
Yeah,
Oh,
I wrote
that's
that
a killer question.
So, by vehicles, I'm not talking like, everyone should drive a Ferrari. Like, off-road trucks, motorcycles, trains, boats, like any form of transportation, what should you at least experience once?
Yeah, that's really cool. Okay, well, I mean, in that regard, then I'd say you need to ride on a boat once, you need to fly in a plane once, you need to drive in a car once. But I'll get a little more specific with that.
I think you should motorcycle. I think everybody needs to ride a bike
Yeah.
at least once in their life.
Yeah, I 100% agree. If you had to pick a bike to recommend people ride, what would it be?
Old Honda.
Old Honda,
My
yeah.
74 450. I love their...
Oh, yeah.
They smell like burning oil. They leak oil. They're just... The electrical systems are goofy and just like a bundle of wires in the headlight bucket.
Yeah, yeah.
But they're so much fun to ride. And they'll start every time bulletproof.
Yeah, they really are. There's something really visceral about riding an old motorcycle. And really a lot of new ones too, but the old
that
ones are
feels
just,
wrong.
it's so mechanical and everything is so, like, simple.
Yeah.
It's such a simple ride. Yeah, I'd say for like an old motorcycle, or for just motorcycles in general, I'd 100% have to agree. It'd either be an old Honda or like... trying to think of another good.
Oh, Yamahas are good. Pretty much any old
Yeah,
Japanese
that's kind of
bike.
where I'm going with it. Is I'm trying to think of the XS 650.
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah, that's a great bike.
Old 4-cylinder bikes are just a dream to ride because it's such a like smooth power band, and they tend to make a fair amount of power too because it's usually the CB 550 or the CB 750 or CB 900, yada yada yada. Those bigger bikes, they're just the power delivery is so fun and the sound, but the smaller bikes are really a hoot too, like the CB 360.
You just scoot around town on
Yeah,
them.
KZ 440. Yeah, really old motorcycles I think would be just a must-have, must ride.
It's the closest experience that I've ever had of being like one with the machine.
Yeah, totally.
Like you're just everything is right there.
Well, and that's the
You
funny
just-
thing.
You feel all the bumps in the road, everything.
When it comes to motorcycles, anybody who's not a bike person will look at that culture and go like, oh, that's such a cliche. Like the whole, like you're one with the machine, like you just shut your brain off. It's, it's Zen, it's meditation, it's all these things. The kicker is though, it's 100% right. It really shuts your brain off, or you're an idiot. If you're on a motorcycle and your day's off and you're thinking about a whole bunch of other crap, you're putting yourself and other people at risk.
Yeah.
So really what it does, one, it's either you just simply have to, or you're going to put yourself at risk. Or two, like, it's just the experience. It takes you out of whatever you're thinking about, because it's such a beautiful. You're just sailing through the air on a just rumbly little thing.
This is gonna sound kind of weird. One of my favorite things about riding a motorcycle, though, are the smells.
Yeah.
It sounds super weird, but like you're almost like a dog with his head out of a car window.
Oh, those smells, like the ambient smells around
just
you.
Ambient smells.
We're not talking just the motorcycle.
No, just like in general. Like you're just driving, like, oh, I smell barbecue. Like
That's so true. Yeah.
It's freaking weird, but you'll smell the environment.
Well, and it's like forced smell induction too, because it's just rushing at you so fast. For better, for worse. I mean, I've ridden past farms, and you're tasting manure, basically.
Other times, maybe it's a bakery or a restaurant or something.
Yeah, that's such a good point.
It's so weird.
Yeah, you really are, like, your senses are very heightened when you're doing it. When you're riding a bike. Yeah, absolutely. What about cars? You got a car in mind?
Oof. Man, that list goes on.
I think an old Porsche.
See, when I wrote that, I kind of figured that was what you were gonna go with.
Yeah. So I think it was 5 years ago. It's got to be about 5 years ago now. I had the opportunity to drive a 1977 Porsche 911 from Hudson, Wisconsin, over to the East Coast, or West Coast, excuse me. And it was hands down the most amazing experience of my life. Personal experience, like having your kids, nothing tops seeing your child enter the world. But driving this car through the mountains, up and down the coast, the coastal highway, I ended up doing about 2,500 miles on this thing. So what I did was I started in Hudson, Wisconsin, and then I just crossed through I-90, and went through the mountains through there, went up to Mount Vernon, went through the Puget Sound, took a ferry down to Highway 101, went all the way down to Seaside, and all the way back up into Portland, and it was just an incredible experience.
Yeah, I'm a little jelly of that.
Days of these long drives, and the car is like, there's just something really special about it. One, because it's an incredibly unique car. It's an incredibly unique powertrain. But also, like, just the chassis too, because it's so basic. You have manual steering, manual brakes, rear engine, not mid, rear engine. So your power or your weight displacement's a little bit different. But how they managed to dial these things in so perfectly that long ago it's just wild. It's such a beautiful experience. So it's a manual brake car, and you would think that would translate to poorer brakes. No, it's the opposite. What you get is so much communication between you and the car and the road. So much feedback. You know exactly the texture of the road that you're on. You know if the car is you know the inertia. You know, like, is the car, am I going down a hill? Am I going up a hill? Like, there's just so many things that it tells you just between the braking and, of course, the steering being manual is as direct. You don't have a power steering system that's kind of dulling the whole thing.
See, and my Miata was didn't have power steering, and that's one thing I did like about it. Like, yeah, it kind of sucked in parking lots, but when you really got to drive, especially on the track, you could just feel everything in the car.
Yeah, I love it.
See, and for me, that'd be mine. Not necessarily a vehicle, but an experience with a vehicle. I think everybody should race on a track once in their life.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
But the closest I came was a SCCA track night, and the only rule was you couldn't pass in the corners. And it's so much fun pushing a car to the absolute limits you can possibly do.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter what you're in. I think everybody should drive on a track once.
You know, one lesson that I learned when it came to driving, I haven't done a ton of track driving. I've done a lot of drag racing, but I haven't done a whole lot of, like, road course kind of stuff, Auto X, but a little bit. And what I've done, there's something funny that happens. So when you're novice, screeching tires to you sounds like, oh, I'm out of control. It's not. Once you get comfortable with, you're kind of at that point, the tires are starting to talk to you, and they're starting to tell you, like, I'm losing a little bit of traction or whatever. That isn't the end of going faster, you know. You can push past that a little bit. And it's a funny feeling to go like, oh, I'm turning so hard and I'm starting to hear the tires. I should let off. Nah, you shouldn't.
Keep going.
Keep going.
Yep.
Keep going. It's so cool.
I see. Then the biggest thing I learned was slow is fast. Like, you're like, oh.
Oh my gosh,
like,
I learned that from kart racing.
Like,
Yeah.
oh, I want to go so fast through these corners, and then you're like, well, wait a second. If I just think about what I'm doing a little bit more and a lot smoother in my shifts and my braking, yeah, you might feel like you're going slower, but you're actually going seconds faster.
Yeah, isn't that amazing? So I've done a bunch of kart racing down at the indoor places in the Twin Cities, so Minneapolis, St. Paul. And that's exactly the lesson that I learned. So I went out there and I was just balls to the wall the whole time, on the gas, knifing through the corners, and I was trying to flick it into the corners so that I could exit, trying to like kind of steer out of it. What a mistake. Because what I was doing was I was causing so much friction. And these things, they don't have a lot of power to just pull you right out of the corner. So all I was doing was slowing myself down and really probably making a lot of people nervous around me because I was on the course with a bunch of other people. So I was probably kind of a dickhead for doing that because I'd come in so hot and then I'd try and twitch it to kind of counter in. It wasn't. And then when I started going really slow, not slow, when I started trying to go really smooth, when I started making the lines as smooth as I could, it wasn't gas pedal to the floor. It was very like finesse and kind of managing it and braking and always being on the gas. And
just jamming on it.
once I did that, I started setting some of the best times of the day.
Yeah.
It was hilarious.
It's amazing how that works.
Yeah, literally cutting seconds off of an indoor go-karting track. So, it's kind of funny. That is a really good lesson. Yeah.
So what's your third vehicle then?
Oh, third vehicle. So
instead of plane.
yeah, we've got motorcycles, we've got cars. I do think everyone needs to fly at some point in their life, but I don't know. That's such a I haven't driven an electric vehicle yet, and that's on my list.
Yeah, I've driven a couple of hybrids.
Mm-hmm.
Electric would be pretty sweet. We went with planes. I went up in one of those like little four-seater planes.
Oh wow!
And I think everybody should experience
where
that.
You feel everything.
Yeah, it's like going on a roller coaster, but it's fantastic.
Yeah,
like, I think everybody needs to go up on one of those once in their life.
I agree. I went skydiving once out of one of those little teeny things, and it's nerve-wracking. And then you jump out, and you're like, "Oh, that wasn't shit." Like, this is wild. Yeah, I agree. I do think flying is really a special experience that everybody should have. Yeah.
I don't like flying. Like, I'm fine once we're up in the air. I don't like the landing and the takeoff.
Oh,
like,
sure.
That gets me.
That's my favorite part is the takeoff.
That's what the wife loves.
Yeah.
And I can't do it.
It's like hitting boost. It's just like you feel that acceleration, that thrust.
We're sitting at this angle, and then I'm going to turn the plane like this, and you're just looking at the ground.
I've never had that.
I can't do that.
I've had banking where, you're leaning quite a bit, and you can look out, and you're like, oh, we're going over Canal Park. I can see Canal Park right there. That's interesting. But, I agree. I do think flying is kind of a necessity. Something you have to do. Yeah.
Well,
for sure. That was a really good one.
So there's our
first.
That's our first one.
You know what we didn't talk about? Trains.
I've never been on a train.
You've never been on a train?
Like, I've been on like our scenic railroads. I've been like up to two harbors.
Okay, so we've done the same thing.
that doesn't count though.
But it's literally the same thing.
No, there is a bucket list train thing though that I have. I can't remember the mountain range. It's in Canada, but it's like a 7 or 8 day train trip through the mountains you can do.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
It looks amazing, and I want to do it, and I can't remember what the name. I wasn't prepared.
And it goes through where?
Somewhere in Canada.
Canada, huh?
Up north, where everything's awesome.
I don't know.
But you can. I've heard that's supposed to be up there. Supposed to be a fantastic train ride. Apparently, taking a train out to like Seattle and Portland supposed to be really pretty.
The Amtrak out there?
Yep,
I think it's the Amtrak.
I've heard the Amtrak's supposed to be really pretty. My wife's grandparents have done it and highly recommended it. But you need like 2 weeks if you want to go out there,
right?
Experience things and come back. Otherwise, it's like just 10 days and you're just going there, turning around, and coming back.
What if we took a train ride?
I thought you were going to say build a train.
Build a train?
No. We don't have time for that.
I know. What if we took a train out west and brought back a car?
Cars.
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 Yes. Not just one. Cars.
Yes. I already know what I'd buy, so.
That's cool.
Good.
All right.
No, I take that back.
You don't know what you'd buy?
It's down to 2. Maybe 3. Do you want to know the list?
You have... Wait. Down to 2, maybe 3 what?
Cars. Do you want to know what they are? You probably know what they are.
Go on.
Subaru Brat, because you can find them a little bit cleaner and a little bit cheaper out that way.
Yep.
EG Honda Civic, because I don't know why I'm not a big Hector fan. I just always loved them. And
I love Hector.
I don't know why the EG. I just always loved that kind of bubbly shape to them.
Yeah, totally.
Or was it the DA? Is it the second generation Integra?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Second gen.
That's the maybe. One of my buddies growing up had 2 of those.
What about the Bug? Thought you wanted another air cool.
God, I don't know. There's too many cars.
Yeah.
If I keep adding to the list, we'd probably end up at like 10 or 12, and then it would just be a crapshoot because we get out there with money and be like,
right.
What do we go look at?
What are we getting?
What's worth bringing back?
Yeah, that's fair. That's definitely fair.
Because then I'd add a split window to that. I'd add a Bug to that list.
Yeah, totally.
Like
totally.
the list would just constantly go on.
So that's the idea.
Yep.
We'll take a train. We'll go out west.
Love that
we'll bring
idea.
something or a pair of somethings back.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll do that in about 5 years when we're finally caught up on projects.
Better make it 6.
Better make it 6. Yeah.
Just to be safe.
Just as long as our rear-wheel drive fun car project is on the road. That's my most important
Here's the funny
criteria.
When you word rear-wheel drive fun car, you just named the next 3 projects we have.
Oh yeah, shit. We did.
So it's hard for me to sometimes remember which rear-wheel drive project you're talking about.
Well, the tire shredder.
Yeah, there you go. Okay.
Yeah.
So yeah,
We'll show you guys eventually here.
someday.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, like, maybe we'll give them a teaser of it or something. I mean, like, in our channel trailer, you'll see it. It's in the channel trailer. So watch that. Mm-hmm. Watch it. Watch it.
Apparently,
Watch
I need to watch it, so that's what I'm gonna do. So you guys have.
You can tell who does the editing.
I'm the
looks.
I'm the humor. I'm the looks. The personality.
The odor.
The ideas. The camera angles.
Okay. Sure, buddy.
I'm Christopher Nolan.
Christopher Walken. Shut the fuck up, Donnie. No, wait. Yeah? No, Steve Buscemi.
That's Steve Buscemi. You can't even get your actors right. God, you're useless.
Okay.
This is why you sit
You got a
back.
dad joke?
I have you. Close enough.
Fair enough. Okay. The
Yeah.
closest thing out, you got a dad joke?
No, I'm
or
gonna
what?
go home. I gotta get.
You
I
gotta
want to
go
just
home.
be away from you.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for watching another episode of, or another podcast in the Dad Mods Brews with the Dudes
So yeah,
podcast
thank
series.
you for watching or listening, because there's a podcast. Whatever you did, we
Yep.
appreciate you. So hope you keep coming back. I cannot talk. Definitely past my bedtime.
Hope you keep coming back for more.
Yep. And if you're bored of this, we have episodes you can watch. If you're bored of all of that, creep us out on Facebook and Instagram.
Creep us out. And tomorrow, you're going to get to see another episode in this mofo, which you're going to get to see the cross member, but let's just say we can almost turn the wheels from inside the car now.
Almost.
Almost.
It's close.
So, thank you very much for watching. Stay safe.
Have a good night, and don't drink
Have a
too
good
much.
time.
Or drink a lot, whatever.
Don't drink and drive, but drink and couch.
Take an Uber.
Take
If
an
you're
Uber.
not home, take an Uber.
A Uber.
Or a taxi. Or walk.
All right,
That's
thanks,
this guy
guys.
wants me to want to do.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yesterday I spent the entire afternoon counting times. Time spent on wasted themes. Oh, what the hell should I care? Well, I'm just here to have some fun tonight, and I probably won't go home alone. I've borrowed what I am for a life, like melting blue ice. Listen, wasting the